So in this video, I want to share with you a little drill I worked on with a mid to high handicapper a couple of weeks ago. And it wasn't just the massive distance we picked up in his shots, but it was actually the comment he made that when he hit his first well-struck shot, he actually said, wow, I actually never knew that my irons felt and sounded like that, because he'd never really hit the ball first, he'd never compressed the ball, but the little drill we gave him was incredibly simple, and I have seen him since, and it's absolutely transformed his game. So hopefully we can do a little bit of the same for your golf. So I'm just going to show you his numbers from his kind of initial kind of shots. And with 7-iron, we were kind of just over 70 mile an hour club head speed, but we were only getting a total distance of just under 100 yards. And yet the first shot that we did after the drill, we could see these numbers. He was actually fractionally slower with the club head speed, but actually hit it nearly 150 yards. Now I know what you're thinking, that sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, it wasn't. So basically, he hasn't been playing long, but he's definitely watched a lot of YouTube stuff. Now, setup to the golf ball was really, really good. And actually his overall swing was pretty good. A nice full golf swing. And certainly from down the line, he wasn't doing anything really out of the ordinary that was going to create poor shots. But what he did tend to do is when he made his golf swing, his contact was very, very poor. And we can see on that shot there, 75 mile an hour club speed, low point 1.9 inches behind the ball, and 93 yards carry. Now, when I highlighted that to him, he actually made the point, well, that's wrong, isn't it? My low point should be after the golf ball. So it was quite nice that he understood that, but kind of had no concept of how to get it there. So what I said, the key thing for him is we needed to get him using his body better in the golf swing, so that like the good ball strikers, he was starting to hit ball and then ground, de-lofting the golf club and compressing the ball. Now, some buzz phrases there. And I think when I've spoken about low point before in videos, golfers have said, why do I need to de-loft the golf club? Why don't I just take less loft? Well, if you're trying to land the club by the ball, your margin for error is tiny on a good strike. You could catch behind the ball, you could flush it, but it's so hard to get consistent. Whereas once you move that low point ahead of the golf ball, really whether you're kind of an inch or 4 or 5 inches ahead, you're going to get ball first and get a decent result, even if not perfect. So the first thing I asked him to do was pop his feet together and just make a few swings and try and feel just the weight of the club, swinging back and through. And he said, that definitely feels different. He said, because normally when I'm back here, I kind of feel like I'm really pulling the club down. And we could see how far behind. So again, made a few practice swings, just back and forward. And then I said, just step into the ball and just make a swing like that, and let's see what happens. And much to his amazement, the first thing we saw was he actually didn't lose loads of club head speed, but his low point moved ahead. He was de-lofting the club, and we picked up some huge distance. So I explained to him that the initial thing for him was when he swings and he moves into his right side and then doesn't get back, that's where he crashes into the ground. So even feet together, because he wasn't moving that way, straight away we started seeing that low point get ahead. Now, the initial comment of, well, maybe I should just play golf with my feet together, would still have improved him, but we didn't quite get into the full drill that we wanted. So then we said, right, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our feet together, start with our feet apart, sorry, and then we're going to move that lead foot back to the trail foot. And we're going to swing back, but as the hands get past waist height, we're going to step and swing down. And the first thing we noticed was how consistent when he was doing the swings, the low point was well after the golf ball. So then we said, right, to the golf ball, no effort in this. We're going to get feet apart, pull that foot back. Once the hands get here, we step across. And that's what you see all the elite ball strikers do. They're moving the mass of their body towards the target very early, whereas all ball strikers are very late, so really struggle with that. So we got him set up, got him to focus on the movement, and straight away we saw that low point ahead, de-loft in the golf club, and a huge pickup in distance. And even initially, he said he felt the backswing was a little shorter than he would normally do. So we set up again, stepped across, made the swing. And like I said, his comment about, his mind was blown how the clubs felt and just how far it went with an effortless swing. Again, the comment was made, could I play golf like that? Could, but we don't need to. So what I said he wants to do is, as his feet are in the normal position, we're going to focus on feeling the weight of the club move away. And as the hands get past waist height, you're going to move your body towards the target. So it won't feel maybe as exaggerated as the step drill, but we're still getting the body moving in that way. As the body moves forward, it's going to move that low point ahead and get that club delivered better. So we got there and just said initially take some speed out. Again, the strike was great. Club head speed was okay. Low point moved way ahead. And again, distance picked up. So once we did a few, and I'm a big fan that club head speed is an advantage, but I'm also a big believer that when you're working on something new, to maybe try and take a little bit of speed out gives you the ability to be aware of what you're working on. And obviously the better your awareness, you should execute better. So again, we then set up after a few and said, right, now when you do the swing, allow yourself to just move nice and early and let the club move a bit quicker on the way down. And we saw a little pickup in club head speed, low point ahead, de-loft in the club, and a huge distance. And even though at the start I showed you the 149 total, which was what he had first swing, we actually started getting a couple that rolled out over 160. And to be honest, there was nothing in his bag that he's hitting off the ground at the start that he could get that distance. So the fact he was doing it with 6 iron, he was very, very excited about as we worked up through the bag, mid-irons, his longest iron in the bag's 5 iron, which is fine, and then into his hybrids. So the key was, once he had that understanding, that from there, he wasn't kind of dragging the club, but he's letting the weight of the club move, but he's letting his body move early, which helps kind of move, get the club to change direction, but gets the low point ahead and gets that ball first contact. It was amazing the difference in strike. Like I said, he was so excited about what he did in the lesson. And I said at the start, I have seen him since, and his playing partners were a little bit shocked actually with what his ball striking was like and how far he was hitting it. But it's making the golf course play a lot easier because he's hitting the ball further, takes him less shots to get down to the green. Now we have discussed he might need a bit of short game work, but the fun comes from striking it well to begin with, getting some nice distance, and that simple step drill, if you are somebody who struggles getting ball first contact, could be an absolute game changer.